Welcome to Life Mastery Radio with Todd Allen and Jackie Bailey, the show that dives into the science of higher consciousness with inspiring topics such as abundance, intention, health, manifestation, love, and transformation. Join Todd, Jackie, and their guests of leading authors, speakers, coaches, and entrepreneurs weekly at 10 a.m. Pacific. Learn to live a peaceful life with intentional mastery. It's all right here with stories and messages to support your well-being and most evocative dreams. Now, here's your hosts, Todd and Jackie.
Hey, welcome to the show. Guess what? It's another groovy day, and most of you know that's because I make it that way. When I get up in the morning, I decide it's going to be a groovy day, and guess what? The rest of the day just falls into place. Now, something might change, something might happen, something might throw me off track a little bit, but I always think back. I started out groovy. How can we turn this around, or how can I not react and just kind of ease into it and make it groovy? And it works. It doesn't usually work. It just works. That's the way it works. And you can work it too. All you got to do is try it. Try it. You'll like it. As always, I have my co-host with me today, and she's all purpley. Hi, Jackie.
Kind of pinky purple. Yeah.
Pink and purple?
You know, Tuesday is pink day, according to Indian tradition.
Really?
Yeah, Tuesday is the day that it's like the lucky color of the week. Tuesday.
There you go. I didn't wear my pink today. Darn it. How are things in Jackie's world? You got a lot of cool things going on and teaching kids how to do stuff. I saw on Facebook that you are speaking at a parents' conference. What did I see?
What did you see? Yes, I am part of an education. Well, I'm involved in the last 3 weeks.
I know I can't keep.
Supposed to be sort of a break for me before school started again, and I got my classes going, but it hasn't been that way. So I am going to be doing a monthly webinar, a workshop for a family education series through the Amazing Parent Network. And Dr. Ali Lankarani and I partner on putting these together. And so I'm going to be presenting how to empower a child, including the child in you. So it will be given to parents and adults, but you'll also be taught not only how to empower your own voice, but how to ask your kids the right questions so that they talk to you. And so that you get to learn their motivating factors, or the times when they get demotivated, what happens there, and so you can learn more about your kids and have more meaningful relationships.
So what is it that you're presenting about? What is it?
I'm helping parents to learn how to reach their inner child, as well as reach the children that are in their own home.
Got it. I get it. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it now. I was distracted by posting the video.
Oh, gotcha. So you tuned out for a second.
I tuned out just for a second, but usually I catch it, but it's a new thing now, because it pops up in the corner Facebook, and then you can copy the link, and it's not as complicated. And so I've never seen that before. It's kind of cool. The world is just getting more and more efficient every day. It's either getting more and more efficient every day, or it's getting more and more complicated. And all I have to do is keep up, and I gotta just at least do some of it.
Yeah, I know. It's like just when you get used to the way things are, then they change again. And I'm finding it harder to learn new things as I get older. I don't know if I'm the only one, but
you know what I'm finding here lately, I've been noticing this, is that I just stay away from it. It's just like, whatever. Of course, I'm restoring a 1952 Chevy pickup, and that takes a lot of my mental process. I've never done this before. I'm doing it from the ground up. I mean, I started with the bare frame, and I'm slowly putting this thing back together again, learning a lot, but it takes up a lot of my tinker time. But you know me, I like to tinker. So
I know. But
go out for a couple hours and tinker.
So fun. It's like you're recreating something and at the same time creating it. I remember refurnishing a lot of furniture when years ago we owned a Victorian home. And so we were doing a lot of antiquing and buying this beautiful furniture that needed to be refinished to some degree. And I remember how fun those projects were.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little bit jealous that you've got a project like that going on. Makes me nuts.
I think so is my girlfriend, my kids, certainly my dogs. My chickens don't care too much. My cats really don't care, but my dogs do.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe we'll talk to Nathalie, our guest, about that today. I want to remind our listeners that today's show page is at www.lifemasteryradio.net or .com, whichever one you prefer. You can go there. Any links that we talk about, there's a real special link with our guest today that will be there about a retreat that she has coming up. So more news at 11. Stay tuned. And while you're on our website, check out my book. There's a link there to my book, 6 Keys to Life Mastery. And you can go there and read it, love it, leave me some feedback. Jackie has a book too. Well, she's got a couple of books, and now she's got another one cooking. So I better get off. Get off my duff. She's also been in compilations.
Yeah, that's kind of the new thing, compilation books. So
yeah, kind of
cool. Heart Notes is my first compilation book, and then I'm going to be in, what's it going to be called? Something about families in the next compilation book, and then we're doing one for our students as well. So
it seems to me like you're moving more toward family education now too. In
some pathways, yes. I mean, we're still offering courses for kids, but what I've seen is the dynamic shift that takes place in the whole family when even the child is feeling more empowered.
Very cool.
When the child comes home and they have more skills in conversation, they feel more confident to speak up about things, it changes for the whole family. And so now the kids are going, but okay, so now I know how to talk to my parents, but they're so busy on their phones, they're not talking to me. So now I'm like, okay, now we need to talk with the parents and get them knowing how to have more conversations with them.
That's how we make a change. That's how one step at a time. And I almost want to say you infect the little ones and then that just spreads, and it's all good.
I don't know if you want to use that kind of language in a pandemic.
I know. That's just the thing that came to my mind. Indoctrinate? No, that's not a good word either. Okay, I'll stop.
Empowering. How about that?
Empower. There you go. That's a good choice. All righty. I think this is your guest today. Yeah. So ding, ding, ding. You know what that means? You have the introduction. Take it away, Jackie Bailey.
Nathalie and I reconnected, I don't know, maybe 6-7 months ago or so. We had a good conversation, and I said, yeah, you got to be back on the show. And she was delighted because she's actually got a retreat coming up that we're going to be talking about. And so it's a great time to have her on to talk about that. And if you don't remember, Nathalie's story is very interesting. In 1997, she fired her boss and left her life in Paris to follow her first big dream that was actually to open a restaurant in the Phoenix area. She discovered how to remove unconscious hidden blocks and activate human potential and accelerate higher success, impact, and freedom. Who doesn't want all of those things? Nathalie is an internationally renowned energy master. She's an intuitive and a business alchemist. All of those are awesome titles. In the past 2 decades, she's worked with over 11,000 people in 22 countries. Nathalie's Success Acceleration System and Design Your Freedoms program have generated millions of dollars and created a strong impact and time freedom for her clients. So I want to be one of her clients. I could use all of those things. And like I said, she's got a retreat coming up at the end of September and first part of October, and we're going to get into that. But welcome back, Nathalie Ekobo. It's great.
Thank you. Thank you. Bonjour, bonjour.
Well, you still got that French going. You just came back from France, didn't you?
Yes, yeah. I spent 2 months in France and a few days in Switzerland. Yeah.
Do you still have siblings that live there or other family members?
I have family members. My entire family is there. My husband's family, everybody. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah. And then I had clients too. So,
cool.
I just love it to do like VIP days or meetings and see some of my students and clients there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because of the pandemic, you were doing a lot of things virtually, right? Now
Yes, yeah. Well, I've always worked virtually, even
Okay.
way before that. When Zoom did not exist, I was already on Skype. So I've always done it, but there is this special magic, of course, when you can hug someone, right?
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, as France, so in the United States, we pretty much, there's gurglings and inclinations, but pretty much everything's back to normal. I mean, there are some certain things. Is France the same way, or are they still being cautious?
When I was there, it changed actually in the scope of those 2 months, because there was this new variant that was kind of contaminating a lot of people. So it went from, oh, no mask, no nothing, no, to, oh, yes, you need to follow the stuff. And then they have like a sanitary pass, and then they reintroduced that for just a few weeks. And then they didn't, I mean, it's also mixed with, like political things where
that's the biggest thing. Yeah.
The people that govern there in France, sometimes they want to be looked at one way or another, or be nice, or be, or be effective. So depending on what the image they want to give, then they put some rules on, So
isn't that the ego throwing in a lot of fear, mixing it all up?
Well, isn't that what's happening everywhere? Have you watched the media?
Exactly. Who do you believe? What do you believe? Know what? I just shut it off.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So then there really hasn't been a lot of differences politically between what's happening in France and what's been happening in the US as far as
I mean, it's a little different version because it's a different culture, but it's all the same, really. I mean, it's all, I mean,
the world has become a smaller place, right?
Yeah.
Very cool.
But it was easy to go in to France, like easier than last year and the year before, of course. And
right.
And then it was easy to go out and re-enter the country in the US. So that was nice, Yeah.
Yeah.
Mask on planes?
Mask on planes.
Yeah.
But you know what? We got COVID coming back.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, there are certain variants that are.
Yeah. And it was very mild. I mean, really, we've been very blessed and fortunate. It was not so deep, but yeah, we got it, and we probably got it somewhere in the airport or on the plane or.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be around for a while, but I think that we got a good handle on what it takes to not let it affect us so much.
Well, and before COVID, if we had gotten sick on a plane after a trip, we wouldn't have thought anything about it because it was almost expected, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
But now that there's COVID, where everybody's sort of on a little bit of hyper vigilance.
Yeah. And I've often been sick after taking planes like that. I mean,
you're exposed to so much, and
you're 12 hours. I mean, or 11 hours. I mean, I take. So I do Phoenix to LA and then LA to Paris, and you're 11 hours in a plane with people. So how can you not exchange some germs?
Right. Well, it's probably a good thing that happens too, because then you're exposed to it all, right? There isn't.
There you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what's new in Nathalie's world? You're still working with people. I know what my question is.
What's your question, Todd?
What's your question, Todd? Now I'm scared.
No. I'm really into alchemy, and you bill yourself out as a business alchemist, and what does that mean? I mean, alchemy to me is you take dull and dingy things and turn them into gold, right? I mean, that's pretty much the metaphor of it. Yeah. And so how do you help people in business and entrepreneurs? What, maybe give us an example, or what is it that you help them with?
Well, so we take all the muck and the lead and the heaviness and the whatever, and we apply a few things, we clear it out, and then we activate the gold, and then we create it. So the way I work with people is a partnership. I don't do anything to them, but I do things with them.
Right.
And without sounding too woo-woo, I like to say, it's a collaboration where we're tapping into your higher self, if you will, the part of you that touches God, spirit, universe, the whole universe, like your divine self, if you will. And this part of you and this part of me then connect together. And from that's where we create miracles.
So you're talking to entrepreneurs or business owners.
Yeah.
And first off, then it's sort of a discovery conversation. What's going on? What's not working? What's been challenging?
Yeah.
You take a look at that. And so you're not necessarily, are you working with business plans, or are you trying to change their perspective of things, or open up a channel to receive more spiritual inspiration? Or are you doing all of that at the same time?
Yes to all. Yes to all. Well,
okay.
Here is the thing, guys. I have an MBA and I have extensive work in marketing and sales for corporations in France. And then I've created multiple businesses in the US. And I am tapped in to source. And I have the ability to remove people's blocks. And once again, I'm not doing that to them. They need to collaborate with me.
Right.
But when we partner up, I have the ability to see what they cannot see. We all have blind spots. We all don't know what we don't know. And that's exactly what is preventing us from going to the next level. And you know the definition of insanity. If you keep doing the same old stuff all the time and keep expecting a different results, it's not going to happen. So at some point, we just need to pause and just admit that we don't know what we don't know, and we cannot see what we cannot see. And that's when you call in someone like me to partner up and to have the humility to say, oh, well, okay, let's go find out what's buried under the carpet. And not to dwell into it, not to roll into the gunk and suffer, but just to put it to the light, have some awareness, and boom, let's shift it. And when you've created some room and you've removed the discordant stuff, right? The frustration, the heaviness, the source of overwhelm, the source of confusion, the blocks to making more money, whatever is in the background there. Once you've removed that, then you have room, and then you can activate positive potentials.
Let me see if I have this right, because this is the way I understand it. We trudge through life like we're hiking with a backpack, and we put it's all just stuff, right, Natalie?
Yeah.
And we put all this stuff in our backpack, and then eventually it gets so freaking heavy that we can't move forward anymore, right? So a person like you comes along, and I'm assuming this, but you can confirm with me, and we take that backpack off and shake it out all over the ground and mix it up and kind of go through those things and either get rid of them or decide, wait, this is really important to me. And so I want to put that back in, but we, like you said, we become lighter and we make more room for new stuff. Did I get it?
Absolutely. How do you know that? That I say to people, we're going to clear your invisible backpack.
Interesting.
We're going to get rid of it.
Tuned in.
Well, it's
I'm
a
not
metaphor.
surprised.
It's a metaphor that I came up with many years ago when I was in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, as a matter of fact. And it's just, through my study, through my understanding, this is something that I came to understand that we did. And it sounds like that's that's what you do.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Do you want to know another wild stuff since we're
Let's
we
go.
are on
Can I
Woo-hoo,
interject
I like-
something really quick here before that? Todd, I think we lost our engineer because of the thunderstorms and it's no longer being recorded. Can you start the recording again?
Oh, is that what we do?
Yeah, so just hit the button that says record. There you go. And now he'll have at least
And
that.
I'll piece them together. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. I did notice something going on, but I was in the middle of a sentence, so I didn't really.
All right.
So you talked about the invisible backpack, right? And how it's getting heavier and heavier and how we can remove that and clear it out. And then we can put some more positive things in. There is another wild stuff that I do that is even wilder than or crazier than that. I mean, and there are way more, but I'm not going to tell all of those.
Oh, please
on
do.
the show. But imagine this, and I've done this for people personally or in business. When people have issues with someone else in a relationship, and once again, it can be a business relationship or it can be a personal relationship. I have this image of we have a relationship bag between us.
Mm.
And throughout our life, we are going to put some energies in. So we have different meetings and encounters and stuff. And we see each other a few times and we have good stuff happening. So we're happy, we have joy, we have knowledge, we have understanding, we have cooperation and everything, excitement and everything. And then we also have frustration, guilt, shame, and whatnot, right? Self-punishment and pushing others and pressure and things like this. So we all have our common relationship bag, let's say between you and me. And in life, maybe we are at a point where communication is not working, or we're not doing business the right way, or we would like to have something else, or we're frustrated, we have some kind of challenge in our relationship. What I do with my clients is I go into their relationship bag. And if you believe in past lives, not everybody does, but if you do, then you can imagine that this relationship bag goes from all the lives that you've had together, right? I go into the relationship bag with these people and we remove everything that's discordant. We keep all the positive in, but we remove the frustration, we remove the guilt, we remove the shame, we remove the pressure that they push on someone else or someone else put on them. We remove all this and we leave all the positive in it. You cannot imagine the stories I've heard from just doing that.
Wow. Like
crazy stories. And I have lived it. I have done it for myself. A long time ago, I helped a friend who was a CEO, and I was just, I was training doctors and nurses in French to use like a tactile tablet for research, for clinical trials. So I was supposed to help all these doctors and nurses and do some support and stuff like that to help my CEO friend. But the VP of technology would not cooperate with me because I was friend with the CEO. And I don't know what was going on in his head or whatever. I went and I said, one day I said, like, I cannot go on. I cannot do my job correctly. I need his cooperation. I went into a session. I cleared a past life we had together and where I killed him. And I cleared the relationship bag.
Was that discordant? I love that word, by the way.
Yeah, that was a little discordant, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah.
And what happened is crazy is the next day, he went past in the corridor in front of my office, and usually he wouldn't stop. He came in, grabbed a chair, sat, and he said, Nathalie, I heard this funny story. I need to tell it to you. I need to share it with you. And my jaw dropped. My jaw literally dropped. That was the first time that this guy had a real conversation with me.
Fascinating.
And he
So,
told
and
you
I-
that you had murdered him in another life?
Yeah. No, I didn't. No,
That-
it was not open
That would
to
be a
that.
great conversation starter.
Yeah. But it's just like, but isn't it true that sometimes we hold some grudges on people without knowing why, like unconsciously?
Right.
It's totally unconscious. Like I'm feeling something about someone else, but I cannot tell what it is.
Hmm.
And it doesn't matter if you don't believe in past life. You don't have to. I'm not in the business of convincing everybody. I mean, the first time I encountered past life, I said, hey, I was raised Catholic and I'm French, so I don't know if I have past lives, So, but it doesn't matter. The matter is everything is energy.
Right.
And when you remove that energy, and sometimes we need to hear a little story. And maybe that story is just an image. Maybe I never killed the guy, but there was a story and an energy of I harmed the guy and he could feel it energetically. And he was holding some anger and some frustration towards me without even knowing it.
Right.
And I just thought, well, I'm the friend with the CEO, that's why it's happening.
Yeah. Well,
But once the energy is removed,
Yeah.
then the problem doesn't exist anymore.
If we're going to keep with this metaphor of backpacking with somebody, what's bringing up for me is all the years that I spent as a young person at girls' camp every summer, when we would have to share a tent or a little cabin with somebody else that we may not have known well to begin the week with.
Mhm.
And of course, we go on these little hikes or whatever with this person. And at the end of the day, we come back and we share the sleeping space with them, right? Well, as the week wears on, we've got mosquito bites all over us. We're tired. We haven't showered, so we feel ugly and all that stuff. And that energy starts to weigh on both of these people that are sharing this space. And we begin to argue and get frustrated and have these little spats. And that happens for several of the last few days of the camp until the night before when we're supposed to leave the next morning. All of a sudden, something happens. And we're like, I'm so sorry I was mean to you. And, you're my best friend and all that stuff. Something is resolved, right? When we sit down and we listen to each other. And so as you're talking about this, Nathalie, that's what's coming back to me is this idea that we're all kind of camping together. Sometimes we share certain spaces. We've got all these supplies in our backpack. And as it gets heavier and heavier, we get more exhausted. We get mosquito bites all over us. And we just don't feel like ourselves. And that we take that energy out on other people. Yeah. And they're experiencing the same things, right?
Yeah.
But it might take someone else like you to come in and say, stop it, knock it off, get along together.
Yeah. And we are accumulating energies also.
Exactly.
I mean, how come we take physical showers, but we don't take energy showers to remove the discordant energies of the day? Right? We could shift a few times. I mean, I'm teaching my success acceleration system. I teach people how to remove discordant energy, how to activate positive energy, how to tap into source and get your own guidance. How priceless is it to know if you need to do this marketing campaign or this one, or launch this project, or turn right, or go straight? It is priceless.
And so does it happen suddenly, or does this sort of occur over several sessions with you?
Well, everybody's different.
Okay.
So some people just shift energy right away and they can feel different and they start manifesting left and right, like crazy opportunities and things. And some others, it takes a little bit more time. But really, the important thing is the journey. It's not the destination. Is you get freer and freer and happier, and very soon you start seeing that there is no limits to that. So then it's getting really exciting.
Yeah. I can just imagine the little goodie bag Jackie and I have. What's in that bag, Jackie?
Well, we have a lot of books that were written by our guests. We have a lot of golden nuggets.
I mean, I think back and I think about it. There's just so much cool stuff. It's almost too much, but it's all good, positive stuff. So it doesn't feel like I'm weighted down. It's just all good stuff.
Yeah.
But even
And
the
the,
good
and the
stuff
good
can get
eat.
heavy though, right? I mean, even the good stuff once in a while is going to add some weight to what you're carrying. So sometimes it's like I was just watching or reading a Facebook post of a friend who says, I'm cleaning out my friends because I got too many friends and I can't have any more friends on here. Facebook won't let me. I've reached the limit. So he's been going through a friend at a time going, you know, do I know this person or not? And so even though we have these good nuggets of information that our guests have given us, sometimes we have to kind of go through and go, okay, of these relationships, what is most important to me right now?
Yeah.
Or of these opportunities, which is going to give me, you know, the biggest scalable possibilities here. And so even though they're all good, you know, sometimes life isn't about the good, the bad choices, it's about the good or the best choices, right? And that's actually harder to make a decision on sometimes because they both seem like good choices, but you have to decide which one's the best. Right?
And there is really no bad. It's just an experience. It's just an experience.
It's a bookend, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'd like to go back to, you know, what's important, I think, is the power of being present. Because if you recenter yourself every day, if you make it a little practice or routine to just connect with yourself, connect with your source, and then you ask, well, show me where to go now.
What am I to know here?
You
What
know,
am I to know here?
yes, and show me who to talk to. Then you don't have to go through all your friends and everything. I mean, that sounds tedious for me. That sounds like I don't want to spend any minute doing that.
Well, there you
But
go. You made
I
it
would
simple
like
right
to
there.
spend a minute centering myself and saying, oh, I want, like, show me my 10 next perfect clients where we are so interested and we fall in love together and we're creating miracles and we're partnering up and everything. And if you remember, Jackie, last time we connected, you sent me an email that was not even for me. And that's exactly what happens, because I connect and I'm like, so show me who I'm supposed to talk to. And then suddenly
that's how we got connected again. That's
absolutely. And then you show up in my inbox, and I'm smiling at the universe, going like, you did it again.
Yeah.
And yes, we just need, and I have goosebumps as I'm telling you that. It's just like, yeah, you showed up in my inbox because we needed to connect again. It was time again to reconnect. So that's how I like to conduct my life right now, right? I'm just like, let's simplify things. I don't have time to go through all my friends or through anything, but I have time to connect for 5 minutes with my source and to say, so what brings me closer to my goal today? Or show me how to have more fun today, more happiness, or feeling more fulfilled.
And let go of it, right? That's an important
and
part.
Then let go of it. And then just follow whatever crazy intuition I have or idea I have. You know,
do you find that when you work with people, is there a fear in some people that they're going to be showed something that they really don't want to do? Is that a possibility?
Sometimes there is a fear to find, when we clear discordant things, there is a fear of, oh my God, what am I going to find about me? You know,
or
about
fear
myself.
of change, right? Isn't change in
the
there
fear
too?
of change, and the fear of, is there an ugly little monster in my closet that has my name on it that I don't want to admit, that I don't know of? But really, there's no, I mean, once again, there is no bad, there is no wrong. It's just an experience. So when you start looking at the monster and you see how cute it is, you're gonna just embrace the monster and love it away, and then it disappears. You know, so it's not about. I do a lot of work with archetypes too. You know, I told you about the relationship bag where we remove the energies, and then the relationships just are restored and even beautified. Another thing is I do believe, like Jung, that we have all these little aspects of us and these personas, right? You talked about the inner child, Jackie. Yes, of course, the inner child, but I have also more. I have the builder, the producer. I have
The
a
tinkerer.
I have the sage inside me. I have the alchemist too. I have all these different aspects of me, but sometimes they can be discordant.
Or not working together. Is that what you mean?
No, they were. I'm not sure they have to work always together, but sometimes they are dysfunctional. Like my inner child can have a temper tantrum and stop me from working. And then suddenly I cannot move forward and I don't know what's happening and how come I cannot do my stuff. And it's because I haven't given myself enough time to rejuvenate or to regenerate, or I haven't played enough with my inner child. Then suddenly it transforms into that temper tantrum of a 2-year-old that just is stopping me from working.
I'm curious. So do you think between those archetypes or those different aspects of yourself that discord is like two opposing thoughts?
Yeah, it can be. Or it can be also, but it can be unconscious. Like I don't, like I can feel it, but I cannot pinpoint it. We're back to the blind spot. We're back to the I don't know what I don't know. Right.
Fascinating.
We get in our own way. I mean, this is not news, right? We want something. We have a project. We want to make a certain amount of money, or we want to have a certain impact in the world. I work a lot with people that are kind of agent of change. You know, they have a calling, they have a purpose, they have a mission, and then they trip over themselves. You know,
I trip every day over myself.
You know, and ask me how I know, right? Ask me how I know, because we all
do it.
We all do that. There's nothing wrong with that. We all do that. But what's interesting is to discover where it's coming from or what's happening at this time. It's not necessarily to dwell in the past or anything like this. Is what is triggered right now, and let's dehook it, and let's activate really the person of you that wants the success, that has reached that goal that you want to have and reach that dream and everything. This person has different qualities than the person you are right now. It's a different person. It's an evolvement of you. So if you project yourself and you start feeling those new feelings and embodying those new qualities, and you bring them back into the present, now you're changing yourself with ease, not with struggle.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about change, right?
Yes.
Because Nathalie, there are certain things that we can control, and there are certain things that we cannot control. And you know, we have to bring our mind to understand that I can control the things I control, but things are going to happen that I can't control. And, you know, we need to ease into that. And just like me, think I start out with a groovy day. How can I turn this around? What can I do different? How can I react differently? You know, in the pre-show, you shared with us how your life has changed. Your partner has changed, and maybe we can reflect on that a little.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in 2020, my husband, at age 50, had 2 strokes in August and in December. And my life completely changed. Because, you know, he's fine. He's has recovered somewhat. He's not exactly the same person that I married, and he cannot work. It's way too much effort for him. So life has changed.
but in a good way. I mean, you look at the positive aspects of it, right? I think we were talking about, it might be just time to slow down and smell the roses.
Yeah. Well, I think that when you have any type of change, what's going to give you sanity is to start looking at there is a silver lining, or there is a gift into that.
Where's the gift? Right.
Where is the gift? I mean, last time we had the conversation of, I think our visa got denied, right? We had established 2 businesses, 10 years in Arizona, and profitable businesses and everything. We go back to renew our visa in the US Embassy in France, and the guy says, you're denied. And we're like, why on earth are we denied, right? We have an American daughter. We have 2 businesses that are functioning. Our clients are waiting for us. So you have to, and then what saved us was there is a bigger gift into that. We cannot see it right now, but there is a bigger gift into it, and hanging on to that. And that's where also the work I'm doing with the success acceleration system, the clearing and the activation and the going into guidance to say, what's my next step, is helpful, because you clear all the triggers, because it's going to trigger you. When you have a big change in your life, you're going to get triggered first. You're going to get through, oh my God, my life is collapsing. What do I do now? And that's going to bring overwhelm and frustration and a whole bunch of stuff. So if you can remove that energetically, and then you can activate some more peace and harmony and the knowingness that life is working for you and not against you, or something is happening for you and not to you, then you go into, okay, everything is always working out for me. I'm going to take a breath. There's a reason for this, and there is a gift, and I'm going to see it. At some point, I'm going to see it. And to make a long story short, our visa was denied. We had a investor visa that we had to renew every 5 years for the rest of our lives without being residents in the US. And now we have found another visa because of that gave us the green card, that gave us residency. And in 2019, in December, we became US citizen. And that's the gift.
Right. Because you were on this one track.
Yes, but when you are in the trenches and you are denied and you cannot enter and go back to your home and to your life, you're like, where is the gift? Really, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, if you hadn't have been looking for the gift, right? Your head would be down, your tail would be between your legs, and you wouldn't be looking or open to those possibilities.
Yeah. So that's why I think one good little sentence to repeat, I don't like too much affirmations. I mean, they are double-sided, because if you repeat affirmations, like if you say you're a millionaire and you're broke and you're scared and in full scarcity, you're harming yourself rather than doing anything good for you, right? But one good thing, if you can learn to appreciate this sentence, is I'm going to be fine. The universe has my back, or everything's working out for me. And if we can get more and more familiar with this and accepting it, because there is a level of opening ourselves to be worthy and deserving of it. But if I can accept that everything is working out for me, then guess what? Everything's working out for me.
There are things we can control. And there are things that we cannot control, and those things that we can control, that's what we work with. But you got to look for the gift.
And you got to go with the flow. And when it's too hard, let it go. I have this little image of, and I don't know why I'm using this because I'm French and I'm not Italian, but I have this little picture of the mama in Italy, on the 4th floor, and then she's landing down a basket on a rope, and then the basket goes down. And then I tell my clients to just dump all your challenges into this. If it's too heavy for you, give it out.
Like all of it.
Like all of it. Like just say, that's too much. I cannot deal with it. I mean, my husband having a stroke in the beginning, in the midst of COVID, where I had to dump him on the curb at the ER because I cannot enter the hospital, and he cannot even explain what's happening to him.
Oh my
Crazy.
gosh, that's awful.
Woo, okay, that's a ride, right?
Ugh. And then he had to be alone probably for a long time, right?
Yes. And he was in the ICU, and I had nobody would call me back and tell me what was happening. I mean, people were so busy in the hospital. It was COVID time.
Yeah.
So, you have to, when it's too heavy, why not dump it into that basket and give it to the universe?
Now you
And
mentioned
just
that your
take it.
husband has benefited by meditation, or at least trainings from Dr. Dispenza.
Yes.
Time?
Yeah.
So-
We've done many different trainings, live training with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and so he's meditating every day, many hours. He
Because there
cannot.
may be listeners who have also had strokes, or have spouses or family members who have strokes. So can you quantify how that has helped, how it's benefited him?
Well, he had lost peripheral vision, and the doctors thought that he could not drive anymore at some point. And he loves cars. He's just like you, Todd. he doesn't fix them or repair them or anything, but he loves cars. And I had a conversation with him, and I said, well, what do you want? Do you want to believe what the doctor's saying, or do you want to create your own reality? Do you believe you can create your own reality? He said, yes.
That's powerful.
So then what do you want to do? You don't have to accept what people are telling you. Never, ever, for anything. You can just recenter yourself and say, well, what is right for me? What is my own truth? What is the truth I want to co-create with the universe? And then he said, well, I want to see and I want to drive. And then he started meditating and more. And then we went also. And then, of course, there is also like inspired action. So we found that ophthalmologist that was, training the vision for the vision. He did a series of sessions like this, but when she saw him first, she's like, oh, you're going to need a long time, blah, 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 blah. Well, no, not so long. He had a certain levels of, there is retraining of the brain and of the eyes, and the eyes connecting with the brain and everything. But now he's driving.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a great recovery.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Fascinating. Well, the power of creating a vision, right? I mean, that's where it all starts. And then that vision programs the subconscious. And when those opportunities come our way, the conscious can jump on them.
Yes. And, I think when we are in distress, and that's to come back to your groovy word, which I had to go and translate because I was just like, what does it mean?
What is that?
I got a funny story behind that word.
And then but when you are like, for people listening that are, physically sick or in disease and challenges like this, if you can close your eyes and if you can imagine another state of you that is in optimum health, or if you can just trigger a little bit of feeling joy or feeling peace, or maybe you cannot reach that, but you can think about someone you love, and then you can bring love in your heart. Then you bring love in your heart, and from that place, you decide that you bring love to your trillions of cells in your body. Just that. And then you do it every day. And maybe you're really sick, and so you cannot even move from your bed. So you have nothing else to do than to do it 10 times a day or 15 times a day. And then before you know it, you find it fun. And you're like, well, if I can do it with love, can I do it with imagining maybe white light? Or maybe can I imagine that I have an energy? How does it feel like? What would it feel like to have optimum health? And then to spread that into my body. Just let's play, let's co-create.
Yeah.
It could be business, it could be health, it could be relationship, it could be money. How does it feel like to feel abundant? I mean, one thing I give to people when they sign up to free gifts or to things, if they are in my list, is I give them a meditation, like if it's 5 minutes, 4 minutes and some seconds. In 4 minutes, you shift from feeling lack and scarcity and like running with like a chicken with the head cut off to feeling abundant.
Mhm.
In 4 minutes.
Wow.
You just stop and you start showering yourself with money. Instead of water, you imagine you have money falling on you. And then you feel it.
In a
And then
shower in money.
you get playful, and then you put it in your pocket. For women, you put it in your bra. You just play. And then before you know it, you want to give it away. And the more you give it away, the more you receive. And it's just like, it's in 4 minutes, you shift completely your energy.
Mm.
Speaking of which, it looks like we have about 4 minutes left. And I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to tell us about a magical new beginning.
Yes. Well, I just turned 60. So I thought, hey, I want a magical new beginning. What am I going to do for the my next 60 years now? It's a brand new slate. I can create whatever I want. What do I want? What do I want to do? So the first thing I wanted to do was to share my gifts with people. And I created a retreat, the Magical New Beginning, that is completely complimentary. It's crazy. On a Friday and a Saturday, September 30th and October 1st, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific, we're going to do transformational work. And I work with people that really want to step in and get a new vision. And what I envisioned is like, it's fall time. Surely there must be some people that say, oh, I need I should be further along. I should be reaching more goals by now. I mean, I'm not, in January, I had all this vision, and now it's September. What did I do? Well, how can we feel and finish 2022 beautifully strong, beautifully, gracefully? That's what we're going to do.
I think Jackie's already signed up.
I am.
Yeah. And Jackie has the link. So I want to remind our listeners that when Jackie writes the blog about this show on lifemasteryradio.net or .com, the link will be there. It will also be in our newsletter. Something we didn't talk about is signing up for our newsletter. Jackie creates a newsletter every week, and it highlights who's been on the show and who's coming on the show. And of course, a blog post about the show. And that's where you will find a link to Nathalie's retreat, A Magical New Beginning. I think that's exciting. And that will soon be up on your website. Your website is NathalieEkobo.com.
Yes, NathalieEkobo.com. There is an H after the T. It's a French way. Yeah.
Nathalie.
No. Ignore it. It's a silent H.
I know. I have to look twice. I have to look twice sometimes. No. I know her name is Nathalie.
Yes. It's been messing up my past 20 years of being in the US, because
in fact, that's
like,
how we reconnected. You started telling that story, and we connected because I was sending an email to one of my students whose name was Nathaniel, actually.
Oh.
And so his name came up in the address, search.
Quick
and
click.
I clicked on it, and it was actually Nathalie's name. And so she got this email that was destined for one of my students. And that was the universe saying, hey, wait a sec, Jackie, you need to talk to her. Right.
Right.
I called you in, that's how a lot of my clients, that's how they generate even more clients and more income in their business. They call their clients in.
Oh, they're in. That's nice. And that's
Nathalie,
from asking who do I need to talk to today? Is that how that
who yeah. Who do I need to see? What do I need to know? How do I need to see this?
There's more to it, but it's the primary alchemy is just there,
and let go of it.
Show me,
right? Let go, just and see what happens.
Yes.
Don't attach yourself to the outcome. Yeah.
Yes.
Nathalie, thank you so much for showing up today as you. It has been a delight, just like it was the last time. Did you have a blast today?
Oh, yes, I love it. When am
told
I
you.
back?
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
Thanks again. And we'll
Thank
be
you so much.
talking via email. Jackie, any quick takeaways?
Oh, lots of takeaways.
Did you have
Nathalie,
a
I love
blast?
you. You're awesome. You have such great energy, and I'm gonna
Thank
tap
you.
into that more. So I'll see you at the retreat. Look forward to it.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
That's about all we have time for today. Choose to check out Nathalie's retreat, and please, please, please make it a great day, because it is all about choice. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for tuning in to Life Mastery Radio. Join Todd Allen and Jackie Bailey and their guests of leading authors, speakers, coaches, and entrepreneurs weekly at 10 a.m. Pacific. Learn to live a peaceful life with intentional mastery through stories and messages to support your well-being and most evocative dreams. Visit their website, www.lifemasteryradio.com. Join their mailing list and be notified about upcoming guests. That's lifemasteryradio.com.